The journey home. There's something about those words. They fill me with both anticipation and sadness, for while returning home is a pleasure, it also means that the adventure is over. No more waking up with the sun touching the mountains, the fresh air that smells like snow, blueberries everywhere, and nothing to do but following the wild rivers and just being present beneath the stars. It's a happy sadness, a promise of returning. And then again, the journey home is just another adventure. Following our 2-week stay in Hemavan, and then 4 days backpacking in Marsfjället, Cynthia and I once again turned our attention south with the goal of eventually making it back home. With, of course, a lot of detours. First, we stayed a few days in Stekenjokk, a mountain area just about an hour from Marsfjället. I love backpacking and sleeping in my tent, but sleeping in my car is just a bigger pleasure, even if it's a small space. The biggest issue is by far keeping everything neat and tidy. But nothing beats watching the sunset from your car, all snuggled up with a blanket and listening to an audiobook. Stekenjokk is a road above the tree line with great views and reindeer roaming about. I've been many times and I love coming back each time. It's Sweden's highest road and it's closed off in winter due to the amounts of snow that can fall. But here in late autumn, winter was yet only a promise not yet delivered. I didn't have any specific plans for our stay this time, other than washing up, hiking a bit, and relaxing before we would continue our journey. So, a few days later, when I noticed a change in the weather, I decided it was time to move on. I had a vague idea of areas I wanted to visit. As I mentioned before, it was not my first time in this area, but there was still so much left to explore. So, I drafted up a route, packed up the car, and set out for the next adventure. Spoilers, we visited a lot of waterfalls.
Where do we go? Go from here? May I lightly want to see another year. Down to the water, down to the deep. Let's start small again and rebuild from here. But there's a light that shines within. Have the courage to rise above and begin. Down to the water, down to the deep. Let's start small again, we are still here. Should we stay a while and let the days go by? I'm gonna hold on to this feeling. I'm gonna hold on to it tight. Then I will hold on, go stronger through the seasons. And as we move from dark to light, darling, love will be our guide. I'm gonna hold on. In the moments of doubt, I won't look for escape, 'cause I still believe that love is worth the wait. Down to the water, down to the deep. Let's grow tall again, we are still here. Should we stay a while and let the days go by? I'm gonna hold on to this feeling. I'm gonna hold on to it tight. Then I will hold tight, and then I will hold on, grow stronger through the seasons. And as we move from dark to light, learning love will be our guide. And I'm gonna hold on, I'm gonna hold on. So where do we go?
Autumn was in full bloom wherever we went. Orange leaves from birch trees littered the ground like snow. Raindrops hung from the pine trees, and each night the temperatures dropped just a little bit further down. But it was easy. It was pleasant. It was a joy to visit the waterfalls, and I hardly met any people in any of the places that we went. After a few days of exploring, we left the waterfalls behind and returned to higher altitudes a bit further south. First, a bit of backstory. Early in the summer I had visited the Flatwood mountain area on my way to Hellas, where I did my midsummer backpacking trip. I had never heard of this area before, but after a little bit of research I decided back in the summer that I needed to go back. And as luck would have it, that was already a few months later. The Flatwood mountain plateau is a strange place. Surrounded by mountains, it's bare and rocky with an almost desolate feel to it. There's a certain energy to places like this. In the Flatwood mountain there are large canyons filled with rare animals and plants. One of these canyons even hosts a fish only found in this one location on the entire earth. It was very fascinating to read about. There's a lot to explore and I will be back, but if I should recommend one place to go if you visit, that would be to visit the cave paintings that you can find here. These paintings are over 4,000 years old. They can be fairly easy reached by either a short hike through the forest or by a little longer hike over the mountain itself. I did the long hike and I enjoyed it both ways immensely. On our way back we came across a local man. He was out exploring by himself and we talked for a little bit. I was rather proud of myself for managing a whole conversation with my limited Swedish vocabulary. We talked about nature, the cave paintings and the rare fish and discussed how the caverns in the mountains might have been formed. He also told me about some other areas to explore if I had the time. Time I had, but energy I had not. After nearly 4 weeks away from home, I was starting to feel the strain of travel and I decided that very evening that it was now time to head home for real. But as always, I will return.
Into the cold.
the way back home, to light the way